video. Thank you for joining me today. This is our Sunday meal prep video. I am making chicken enchiladas today with the Spanish cauliflower rice, and along with that I'm also going to make the butterball turkey sausage that I bake in the oven and some diced yellow potatoes. I'm just going to season that up with some Cajun seasoning, garlic, salt, pepper, all of that good stuff, and some steamed broccoli to go along with that meal as well. So that is the two meals that we are making. I'm also going to prep my fruit bowls and my breakfast and stuff for the week like I normally do, and of course a batch of my chocolate protein cookies that I love. And I'm so glad that all of y'all are trying those cookies. That makes me so happy. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below and become part of the family. Hit that notification bell also so that you don't miss any time that I upload. I upload 3 times per week, Tuesday, Thursday, and on Sunday. And also follow me over on Instagram. And again, I also have a Facebook page. I'm going to see if I can link it down in the description box. I think last week I put a picture of the Facebook page, but I'll try to see if I can put a picture. I don't know if you can do that in the description box here on YouTube or not, but I'll see if I can do a direct link to that Facebook group. And it's a group. We don't have to be friends on Facebook, nor do you need to try to send me a friend request on Facebook, because you know, Facebook I kind of consider private. It's really personal, really just for my friends and family and stuff, but that group is an open group for everyone. So anyway, let's roll into Charlie's footage of his prep that he has already done here behind me and get into the video. Okay guys, it is actually Saturday night and we are getting ready to go to bed, but I wanted to put my chicken breasts on so that they will be ready to shred in the morning whenever I get up. And then I'll just put them in the fridge until I get ready to make the chicken enchiladas. So I'm going to just spray the inside of my crock pot and add 3 chicken breasts. That's what I'm going to use. Chicken is 0 on the blue plan, so I think that 3 will be good. And then I'm just going to season it up with just some salt and pepper, of course. And then I have this chicken seasoning. It's pretty old. It's actually almost empty. I don't even know where I got it from. So it does kind of help give the chicken some good flavor. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder. I don't want to overly season it because I'll be adding other seasonings as well to the mixture tomorrow. But I don't want the chicken to be plain either. So just a little bit of the onion powder and then just a little bit of the garlic powder. And then I'm just going to cover it with water and let it cook for 8 hours or however long it is until I get up in the morning. Okay, and that's all there is to it. I'm going to turn my crock pot on. Let me lower you down just a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and set it for 9 hours just so that it doesn't cut off. And if it does, it's okay. I'll take it out as soon as I get up in the morning and shred it. It'll be fine if it sits here for a little bit. I probably will not sleep more than 6 hours, to be honest. But I make this chicken this way too. If I'm just making like shredded chicken for like grilled chicken salads and stuff, it's really good. It's really simple. And again, I love to make it in the crock pot and it makes it really tender and good. So anyway, we'll get this prepped and then we will see you tomorrow for the rest of the meal prep. Okay guys, it is time for Sunday meal prep. I'm actually fixing to get into the shower and Charlie is going to get started on his prep. But I did want to show you the chicken. I filmed putting the chicken breast in the crock pot last night and I just shredded it up and have it in this container. I'm just letting it cool a little bit, but we are just going to stick it in the refrigerator until I get ready to put together the chicken enchiladas. And then we have the cantaloupe and the pineapple. I realized once I started pulling everything out that Kroger did not give me my blueberries yesterday. So Charlie is going to make a quick run to the store because he needed some half and half as well and some chips for his lunch. And so before he actually starts this, he is going to make a quick trip to Kroger. I wanted a green bell pepper, which I know I'm did realize that yesterday whenever I was doing my grocery haul that they did not give me the green one. So he is going to get a green bell pepper. That way he can chop it along with these other 3. And then, of course, I just have my tomato as usual for him to slice up. And then we're just going to slice these up into little rings. And then I will just put those on a baking sheet and cook those in the oven. The petite gold potatoes will just get diced up into little pieces, and he's just going to put those in a bowl for me, and then I will season those up with the Cajun seasoning and stuff and put those in the Ninja air fryer. Ninja Foodie on the air fryer function. So that is the plan. It's really not a lot of prep work for him since he already kind of prepped the chicken last night. You know, he trimmed it up and then I put it in the crock pot and we just let it cook all night. It was done whenever I got up this morning, so I just shredded it up real quick. And yeah, so that is what is on the agenda for the day. I'm going to get ready and then I will probably see you. I do have some cilantro to wash and kind of get ready for the recipe. I'm going to do that part, and then my blueberries, of course, once he gets back from the store. I'm jumping in the shower. See you in a bit.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you, hit you up, I'm on the other side, I miss you, miss you. Take you off, I came here way too strong, cannot keep it low key. Got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof, auto, your taste. It's really a bad reception out there, where you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me? I've lost you, but I need you. And you're off my radar now. I've lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. Found myself in between the lines, underneath your bed sheets. It started fun, but now I'm in too deep into this flow. A zero-sum game that I will lose. There's no zipping past it. Every time you walk away from me, I want you. How could I want you more? Or when did I lose my perspective? Oh God, have I lost it? But my cravings for you so shameless, can't get enough. I've lost you.
Okay guys, we are ready to put together the fruit bowls. As usual, I have my pineapple, my cantaloupe, and my blueberries ready. Let's throw these together real quick, and then we're going to get started on the turkey sausage, the diced potatoes, and the steamed broccoli, and get that meal done. I don't think that one will take very long, and yeah, so let's just get right into it. Okay guys, here is my prepped fruit containers. I got 7 containers this week and 7 containers of yogurt. This is the tomato that Charlie has already sliced for my sandwiches. And then, of course, my diced peppers. I store them in this container with the paper towels just to absorb the moisture. And then they keep pretty well all week. I will use a lot of those today because I'm going to prep my breakfast for the next 5 days. And so I saute those for my scrambled eggs. But there will still be some left that I will use next weekend, and if I have any pizzas or anything this week also. But yep, fruit's looking good. Actually, that cantaloupe was one of the best ones that I've gotten in a long time. I ate one piece of it and it actually had some flavor, y'all. So things are looking up. Spring is coming. I'm excited. So I'm going to get this put away, and then we're going to get the sausage in the oven and the diced potatoes seasoned up and in the air fryer, and go ahead and get the broccoli steamed so we can get that meal put together. I am ready to get the turkey sausage in the oven. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm just going to place these on here flat. They're going to cook for about 15 minutes in the oven. I'm going to let them cook for about 10 minutes and then probably flip them over. So they will, you don't have to put any additional seasonings on these. I think that they are delicious just the way that they are. And this is 26 ounces. This is 2 packages of the Butterball turkey sausage, and that is what I'm going to use to calculate the points. I can't remember how many points it is. I do have that in my phone, and I will look that up, and of course have all of the information down in the description box. After it cooks, it will not weigh 26 pounds, so I will weigh it and then divide it out into 6 portions based off that. But for my calculation, I am using the 26, I think I said grams, ounces. It's 26 ounces because it was 2 13-ounce packages. But whenever I weigh it, I'll weigh it either in grams or ounces, whatever, to get a total and divide it by 6, and then that's how much I will put into each one of our containers. But this is really delicious. Y'all definitely need to try it. It kind of comes out almost caramelized. It's so good. Okay, I got them ready on the sheet pan. They're laying all flat. I'm going in the oven. I'm going to do 10 minutes, flip them over, and then do at least another 5 to 7, depending on how done they are. Okay guys, here is the turkey sausage, fresh out of the oven. They've been sitting here for a minute, so they're not too hot, but these turned out perfect again. Super excited to eat this meal this week. Again, you don't have to put any seasonings on these. They just come out perfect just like that. They cooked for, I think, about 20 minutes. I flipped them, and then, well, before I flipped them, I cooked them for a few more minutes because they didn't seem ready to flip, and then I did another 5 minutes. So I think they stayed in a total of 20 minutes. They're delicious. I ate a little piece of one. We are ready to start on the diced potatoes. I have this nice bowl of these diced up yellow potatoes that Charlie has already prepped for me. And then I have all of my seasonings and stuff here that I'm going to season it up with. I'm just going to spray them with the extra virgin olive oil spray. And then, of course, I'm going to use salt and pepper. And then the main seasoning for them is going to be this Cajun Seasoning, which this is the Badia brand. Y'all know I love this brand, but any brand of Cajun Seasoning would be fine, I'm sure. And then I am going to put in just a little bit of chili powder and the ground cumin, because y'all know I love that combo. And then also some garlic salt and a little bit of paprika as well. So we're going to spray it, season it up, probably spray it again, season it up again, and then do it in a couple of batches in the air fryer, or the Ninja Foodie on the air fryer function. I'm going to tilt you down, and we're going to throw this together real quick. So we're going to go in with some salt and some pepper and the Cajun seasoning and a little bit of chili powder and a little bit of ground cumin and some paprika. And then we're just going to stir it up well and probably repeat that. I may not put as much seasoning, but I definitely want to get all of them coated pretty well. And it definitely needs some more oil sprayed on them. Okay, we are ready to go in the air fryer. I think I'm going to cook them in 2 batches. I'm going to spray the inside of my air fryer too so they don't stick. Our Ninja Foodie is technically what it's called. Okay, I think that's about half of them. I'm going to cook them in 2 separate batches. I'm just going to spray the tops of the potatoes one more time, and then we are just going to turn it on. Do the air crisp. 390 is good, and then for the time, I'm just going to do 15 minutes, and then we will check that and see how it looks. I want them nice and crispy. I don't want them burnt, so hopefully they will turn out well. I've done these before, and I think 15 minutes was about the right time. I might have had to do another 5 minutes or so, but we'll see. Okay guys, here is the first batch of potatoes I'm pulling out. I did have to cook them a little bit longer. I think maybe this thing has to heat up a little bit, so they stayed in for about 20 minutes, I think. I just kept checking on them until I felt like they were done. So we'll see if the next batch has to cook that long or not. I think that batch turned out pretty good, so we are going to go right in with the second batch. And I'm going to do the same thing, except I think I'm going to set it on we'll do 16 minutes and then see if it needs another 4 minutes or so. And those look pretty wet from sitting in that bowl, so I'm not going to spray those again. Alright, we'll see how they turn out. Alright guys, so I have the turkey kielbasa ready, and the diced yellow potatoes just came out of the air fryer. And then I just steamed the broccoli in the microwave, and I just seasoned that with salt and pepper and garlic salt. And then the night that we eat it, if we feel like it needs something else, we can just put it on there at that time. So for the turkey sausage, I'm going to get my scale and weigh it and see what the weight is so that I can divide it evenly between the 6 containers. Again, I'm using the original 26 ounces as my amount that I put in to my Weight Watchers app for the points calculation. Okay, so the turkey sausage is 6 points per serving, and I'm going to just divide this, which it's in grams, it's fine. It's 514 grams divided by 6, so we're going to get about 85 grams into each container. So I'm going to go through and divide that out.
I'm looking out from my window. Sun's coming up like the day before.
So this is going to come out to 9 points per serving. I just put in the 2 pounds of the diced potatoes, the 26 ounces of turkey sausage, and the broccoli, and that's how much the points come out to. So I'm just going to weigh the potatoes and divide those out equally, just like I did the sausage, and we'll be done. And we can just divide out the broccoli easily as well. So that's 840 grams of potatoes. So we'll get about 140 grams in each one.
Like a stone on my pillow, I don't make a sound when I shut the door. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room.
So that's 140 grams of potatoes in each one, and now we're just going to eyeball the broccoli. I'm not going to weigh it out because it's 0 points. We're just going to fill these little corners up, which they gave me broccoli cuts. I noticed whenever I pulled it out of the freezer earlier, I never order broccoli cuts unless I did it by accident. That's another thing I'm doing the online ordering, and I know I'm always complaining about it, but yet I always still do it because it's convenient. That's how they get you. It's so nice just to pull up. If I was just getting groceries and coming home and putting them away, it would be one thing. But whenever you're filming grocery hauls and have to set it up and everything, it is nice to have it picked for you, because that saves you an hour of time in the grocery store. Plus, usually whenever I do my groceries, I have my granddaughter, and we're not taking her into public places like that. It's just worked out for us to do the grocery pickup. Occasionally we'll run into Walmart or whatever and get a few things, but that's happened very rarely, and then we usually regret that decision because it's just like, oh my God, there's just so many people. But anyway, I mean, broccoli cuts aren't going to kill us. I just prefer florets. But I'm not going to waste it. We're going to eat it. Here is the finished turkey sausage with the diced yellow potatoes and the steamed broccoli. This came out to 9 points per serving. I entered the uncooked measurements into my WW app so that it could be accurate. So I put in 2 pounds of the yellow potatoes because I had 2 little 1 pound bags. And then I put in 26 ounces of the butterball turkey sausage because I had 2 13-ounce packages of that. And then, of course, the broccoli is 0 points. Once you divide that by 6 servings, it comes out to 9 points per serving in my app. As I always say, double check your measurements, though, especially if you try a different brand or something, especially of the sausage. But anyway, this looks delicious. I know it's going to be. We've had it before. looking so forward to eating it. I love this sausage. I actually never thought that I would even like it that much. I wasn't excited the first time I made it, but now I can't get enough of it. So definitely worth trying, and it's really easy as well. So now let's make some chicken enchiladas. I'm ready to start on the chicken enchiladas. So this is a chicken and black bean enchilada recipe that I got off of lalouche.com, and I will have that link down in the description box below. I'm gonna pretty well follow her recipe except for a few things. She calls for 12 low-carb whole wheat flour tortillas. I'm going to use the Olay Extreme Wellness Wraps. I have, I'm going to do it to where a serving is going to be 2 each, so I need 12 wraps. I only have 11 of my regular ones, so I'm going to use one of the spinach and herb. I think it'll be fine. I don't think we'll even be able to taste the difference. I didn't realize that there was only 8 wraps in those. So yeah, that's something I'm going to have to stop and pick up at the store this week, is some more of those. But anyway, so I'm going to use 12 of those. I have some chicken breasts that I cooked in the crock pot and already shredded up. So that is ready to go. 1.5 onions finely chopped, which I already have some pre-chopped onion that we just picked up at the store. It calls for 1.5 cups of black beans and 3/4 of a cup of corn. I just drained and rinsed 1 can of beans and 1 can of corn, and I already have that here ready to go. It says 4.5 garlic cloves, which I think is a lot. I'm just going to put 2 teaspoons of the minced garlic. I'll probably try to clean out what's left in that jar. There's not that much left in there, and just use that up. And then some, it says 1/2 cup of finely chopped cilantro, which I have not finely chopped that yet. I'm just going to give it a rough chop, to be honest. And then she does have a recipe on here to prepare your own enchilada sauce. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use this can of Old El Paso mild regular enchilada sauce. I've used this before making the Mexican meatloaf, so I know that we like it. And I've already plugged all of this stuff into my app as well to come up with the points. It calls for 3/4 of a cup of reduced fat Mexican blend cheese. So I have already measured out 3/4 of a cup of that cheese. And then she calls for a teaspoon of olive oil. I'm not going to use that. I will just use my olive oil spray. And then 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground cumin, chili powder and garlic powder, and the juice of 1 lime, and salt and pepper to taste. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to use everything that she has, except I'm changing the tortillas. I'm not going to use the olive oil. And I think everything else is pretty much the same. I'm not going to use as much garlic as her. So we will prepare the mixture in the skillet and then put it in the tortillas and stuff, and then put it in the oven. So I need to preheat my oven, and I'm going to get my chicken and everything else out, and we're going to throw these together. And then once I get them in the oven, we'll get started on the cauliflower rice that's going to go along with it, the one that I put the rotel in. So that's pretty easy. How long do these cook in the oven? So these cook in the oven for about 20 minutes. So I think that while they're cooking, I can get the cauliflower rice done as well. Okay, and I don't know if I said this or not, but the recipe comes out to be 5 points on the blue plan. I did plug everything in, and so I'm happy with that. 5 points for 2 enchiladas, and then I think the rice will be either 0 or 1, and then I'll probably have a bag of my chips with that as well on the nights that we eat it. So I have a skillet out here, and I also have a baking dish. I'm hoping that I can fit all 12 of them in there, because these are not that big, so I'm hoping that I can kind of squeeze them in. We shall see. I want to fit them in one baking dish if I can. So to start it off, it says to start with the onions. So we're going to get the onions going. Well, it says the onions and the garlic, but I don't want to burn my garlic, so I want the onions to cook for a little while, and then I'll add in the garlic for about a minute. Okay, the onions have been cooking for a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my garlic. And you don't ever want to overcook the garlic, because it will burn. So it doesn't take but just like a minute or so for it to saute. And then we're going to add in the chicken, the cilantro, the corn, and the black beans. I'm going to do a quick little chop on the cilantro. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my chicken. And I had to prep this chicken overnight and just let it cook on low in the slow cooker while we slept. I woke up, it was perfect this morning. It was falling apart, so that really helped making this dish. That's something I need to remember for the future. We're going to add in the corn and black beans. And we're going to add in the cilantro. And we're going to go in with some chili powder. She says about 3/4 of a teaspoon. Some garlic powder. Some ground cumin. And then of course some salt and pepper. And then her recipe says for about 3/4 of a cup of the prepared enchilada sauce that she has in her recipe. So I'm just gonna wing it and put about that much in there. If we need more, we'll put more. And then you just let this cook for about 5 minutes. I mean, everything is pretty much cooked. It's really just to kind of let all of the seasonings and everything blend together well. And then we'll be ready to assemble the fajitas and get them in the oven. Which I'm not sure if I preheated my oven or not. I did not. I'm going to do that now. I forgot it also calls for the juice of a lime, so we're going to use our little lemon thingy and squeeze that in there. Okay guys, I had to change my memory card, and I've kind of cleaned up a little bit. The mixture is ready. I have my baking dish. I just sprayed it with some extra virgin olive oil spray, and we are going to start on our tortillas, which it says to put about a third of a cup of the mixture into each one and roll it up, so we will see how that works out. See, I almost feel like I'm going to need a little bit more because I've got a lot of mixture here. So we're just going to guesstimate here what we need. And then it says to place them seam side down. Do 2 dishes of 6 each.
Show me what we got in love. In love. Show me what we got in. You said it all the time, you never like that. Put it in the trunk and never write back. Got my shit like it's tighter than facts. Keep my shit light. Ay, ay, oh. Teeth on my brain, you like to put it up. Shawty came through, she like a big nut. On a nice face. That shit was R&B, don't forget the bass. Yeah, shawty like the way I talk. She like the way I sing, the way I fuck.
Okay, my battery's about to die. I'm going to see if I can do this real quick. So, we have all the enchiladas in the baking dishes, and then it says to pour the remaining sauce over the tops. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to cover it with cheese. I'm just going to divide this between both dishes, and then it's going to bake for 20 minutes. And of course the battery died, but I ran and got a new one. I have like 2 or 3 batteries, but I was just trying to get this in there real quick. So then we are just going to sprinkle the remainder with the cheese. If you wanted to use more points and use more cheese, I'm sure you could. I just don't like to use a whole lot of cheese. If I added any additional, I would just use some of my fat-free cheese. But I think this is going to be fine. Pour it over, cover with foil, and then bake for 20 minutes. Let me grab my aluminum foil. one in for 20 minutes. You're ready to make the cauliflower rice. I'm going to use 2 bags of this Green Giant cauliflower medley. It just has the little peas and carrots in it. I kind of mashed it up with my hand while I kind of beat it on the counter, so I didn't film that, but that does help break it up from the big chunks that it's in. And then I'm going to use 1 can of the fire roasted rotel and then 1 can of the original rotel, and then some salt and pepper, ground cumin, chili powder, and probably a little bit of fajita seasoning as well. So I'm going to tilt you down here. I got my pan on the stove. We're going to spray it and get the cauliflower in and just kind of let it soften up until, and then we'll add everything else. I'm almost out of spray. This is another one of those that does not taste like cauliflower. So if you don't like the taste of cauliflower, you'll love this. Might have that too hot. So I'm just going to season it with just some salt and pepper, and then we'll add everything else kind of after it softens up. It takes a few minutes. I'll put the lid on it, and then we'll come back and check it. And then we add everything, and then we pretty much just cook it until the moisture from the rotel kind of dissipates, and it will really kind of look like rice. Alright, we'll be back. So the cauliflower rice has definitely softened up. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and add in the can of fire roasted rotel and the can of original rotel. And then we're going to go in with some ground cumin, which this isn't sprinkling out good, so I'm just going to take that lid off so that I can get some in there. And then we're going to go in with a little chili powder and some fajita seasoning also. And we're basically going to mix this up and just let it simmer until the liquid evaporates. And after a few minutes, always feel free to do a little taste test to see if you need to add any more seasonings. I always do. If I feel like it needs more salt or pepper, I'll add it, or you know, if I feel like it's not spicy enough, I'll add a little more ground cumin and chili powder. And then sometimes it's perfect just the way it is. And sometimes it'll be too spicy, but we still eat it. Okay, so we are just going to let this cook down, and we have about 5 more minutes I think left on the fajitas. Okay guys, I just had another one of those recording failures as a YouTuber, because I recorded myself plating up the cauliflower rice and did a whole lot of talking and then realized that it wasn't recording. So frustrating, but it's already done. I mean, all I did was plate up the rice in these little individual containers, because I have decided not to individually plate up the enchiladas. I do not have meal prep containers that are large enough to put those that kind of has a divider for the rice and everything as well. So I just think it will be easier on us this week to just leave them in these casserole dishes. I have lids for those, and they'll just slide right in the refrigerator. And then each night we will just each get a container of rice and then 2 enchiladas, and that will be our meal. The enchiladas come out to 5 points per serving, and that is for 2 of them. And then the rice, I think, comes out to about 1 point. It's either 0 or 1, I can't remember. And then I will have probably a bag of my baked Tostitos, because I love to take those and just dip the cauliflower rice with it. I don't know why, but I feel like I can't really eat the rice without the Tostitos. So anyway, so I'll probably end up having a 9 or 10 point meal that night, just depending on whether or not the cauliflower rice has anything in it. But I'll definitely eat a bag of baked Tostitos and then 2 enchiladas and some rice, so we'll be very, very full. Again, that's going to be a pretty hearty meal, and I think the other meal is pretty hearty too. It doesn't look as hearty, but with the potatoes and then that turkey sausage and stuff, it is very filling, and that's quite a bit of broccoli in those containers also. But I do need to look into getting me some more meal prep containers that are a little bit larger to hold like longer items, because y'all know if I make like my long green beans, I always have to put those in some separate little containers. And those little containers are some that are just left over from some meal preps that I had ordered, and I just kept the containers and just reuse them. So yeah, I'm going to look into some new meal prep containers, plus mine are kind of getting stained and old and everything. But also what I was saying was, don't pay attention to the mess over here in the sink. I'm going to get Charlie to come in here and do a quick cleanup for me. I'm going to throw my cookies together, and he's been working upstairs and out in the yard and stuff, and he just came inside, so I'm going to see if he will do a quick cleanup. All I have left to do is to bake my cookies, and then I'm going to do my scrambled eggs and bacon real quick, and we will be done for the day. So let me show you what this looks like. Here are the cooked chicken enchiladas. This is one of the casserole dishes, and then this is the second one that I put together. Those are a little more squished in there. That dish is smaller than this one, if you can tell. And then here are our 6 bowls of the cauliflower rice, and so that will be our dinner one night this week. Again, the enchiladas came out to 5 points. This is either 0 or 1. I can't really remember. It doesn't really matter, but anyway, I will have it listed in the description box below. So I think this looks good. I just think it's just going to be easier just to slide these in the fridge like this. I'm just going to let them cool before I put the tops on them, and then we will just store this away. So yep, done with this meal. Let's make some cookies. We're going to make our cookies with the usual ingredients. So I'm going to use 1 scoop of the PE Science Select protein powder in the chocolate cupcake. And we're going to do 1 scoop of the Matrix peanut butter cookie protein powder. And like I've said before, some people use PP2 in place of this. This scoop is 36 grams. Then we're going to go in with 10 grams of the Hershey's Special Dark Cocoa Powder. I don't know why it's not focusing. Probably because I keep moving. Okay, so 10 grams of the Hershey's Dark Cocoa. And then we're going to go in with 5 grams of the sugar-free Jell-O chocolate fudge pudding mix. And then I'm going to do a big tablespoon of the baking powder. And then I just like to mix all of the dry ingredients really well before we add in the wet. And then we're going to go in with the rest of the can of pumpkin that I used last week. So it should be about 210 grams or so. Okay, so it's 217, so that's perfect. And then we're going to go in with about 100 grams or so of egg whites. And then we're just going to mix this up well, and then once I think it's the correct consistency, we'll add in the chocolate chips. So I think we need just a tad bit more of egg whites, as I usually do. And then we're ready to go in with 14 grams of the Lily's dark chocolate baking chips. My little package is almost empty. I do have another one, never fear. And we'll get those mixed up good, and I'm going to get my baking sheet out and get it sprayed, and we will get it ready to put in the oven. Okay, we're going to just spray this with the baking spray. And we're going to scoop out 12 cookies. Okay guys, they are ready to go in the oven for 9 minutes at 350 degrees. Here are the cookies, fresh out of the oven. Perfect yet again. That one's a little squishy, but they will flatten down. And again, I do not eat these immediately. I let them cool completely. I store them in the refrigerator in a Rubbermaid container, and whenever I eat them, I take them out because they will not be good if you just eat them straight out of the refrigerator. Warm them in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and then they'll be perfect. Nice little treat. 1 point for 2 cookies, 2 points for 3. Okay guys, I just wanted to go ahead and close out this meal prep video. We have everything completed today. I think everything looks delicious. Over here I have my fruit and my yogurt bowls for my lunches. This is the turkey sausage with the diced potatoes and the steamed broccoli. Here we have the chicken enchiladas, which like I said, I did not individually portion those out. We will just take out the portion each night whenever we eat that. And then we have the 6 containers of cauliflower rice to go along with it. These are my chocolate cookies. This is what I always store them in, and just this little container with a lid on it in the refrigerator. I always get a lot of questions about that. And then I have my 5 containers of my scrambled eggs and egg whites and 10 strips of bacon down there. I'm not sure you can actually see the bacon, but it is down there. And so yeah, I feel like it's another great successful meal prep. It is a lot of work. I probably started, I don't know, it took me about 4.5 hours, and you know, maybe a couple of little tiny breaks in there. So you know, I did everything kind of individually instead of trying to have a bunch of things going on at one time today. So it was a little bit more relaxed. Sometimes I have everything going at one time and it's a little crazy, but Charlie was busy and wasn't down here to help me, so I just kind of focused on one meal at a time and completed it and got it out of the way. But I would say 3 or 4 hours is a pretty good amount of time for me, or a pretty normal amount of time for me to get the meal preps done. Here's Luna. She's popping up here to say hi. The cats are actually pretty good whenever I'm meal prepping, in case you're wondering. They all just lay around and sleep all day long because they're bored with me being in here. So they're not in here and up on the counters and stuff during the day. And I do spray everything down. I know that, you know, the cats, I do let them have a lot of freedom and they get on the counter and everything. But whenever I'm cooking, I do keep them off the counter. And she knows she's not supposed to go up there right now. Like, she looked up at the food, but she's not going to get on the table. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. I upload 3 times per week, Tuesday, Thursday, and on Sundays. And also follow me over on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram handle here for you as well. And also, I have a Facebook group. It's called Jennifer Lynn's Weight Loss and Wellness or something like that. I will leave a link for that down in the description box if I can, or you can search that on Facebook if you don't have Instagram. I kind of created that for my friends and family and for all of y'all as well, because not everybody is on Instagram. So check that out if you are interested, and I will add you to that group. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate and love every one of you, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.